It is a Capricorn new moon hypnosis. Alright. Hello. How are you? Very excited. Yay. Alright. How's everyone doing today? I'm just pinning my... Hello! So lovely to see you here. How do I pin? Aha! I did it. I figured it out. Oh my god. Technology. Oh, welcome. Hello. It's Saturday. The moon is in Sagittarius. I'm really enjoying doing these in the dark moon. It's definitely kind of adds a nice little whatever that is. Oh, hi, hello, hi everyone. It's nice to see you. If you are new to New Tapes, welcome. I'm very excited that you're here. If you're returning, I'm even more excited. Thanks for coming. Thanks for doing this with me. I have a lot of fun. I'm getting feedback that it's been really helpful, so that is fulfilling my purpose in life. So, yay! I'm so glad. I love to be soothing. That's like all I got. I don't know. It's either soothing or just like really angry. So I'm glad this is nice. Yay! Oh, awesome. I'm loving it too. So I'm stoked that you're here. I'm just going to give people a couple minutes to show up. I invite you to get set up in this time, however feels good to you. I kind of like, I pulled the blinds for this one today. I felt kind of like leaning into the dark moon energy and just really like getting the candles going. I have my little sage tray here, just like little chunks of old sage that I burn. So if you want to get set up, I absolutely support that. Burn a little something. Get yourself some water. Oh, yay! That's great. I love appearing carefree. I care a lot about a lot of things, but my humor really, really pulls through in this. I also want to give you a moment to, if you haven't yet, if you don't use the worksheet and you want to, you should totally take a second to head to the link in my bio, go to my shop. It is free. It is really easy to use, and I find it just nice to help organize the work that we're going to do. So, all right. Feeling like we can get started if y'all are ready. Something I would like to open up this time is inviting y'all to share your thoughts as I go through the astrology, share anything that you are feeling right now. It's been a crazy week and we're just getting started on this energy, so if y'all have a few words that you want to share that summarize just what you're feeling right now, I totally want to open up space for that, because that's what we're doing. We are being honest about how we feel, and then we're doing some work to create some changes. So if anyone wants to share anything at any point throughout this, please feel free. All right, I think we can get started. Yeah? Does everyone feel ready? Let's do this. Okay. So. It's like all I got for this moment is just so. On one hand, we can say goodbye to Saturn from Capricorn. Goodbye. Thanks for being in Capricorn for the 3 years. Thank you for all of the lessons. It was really real. So this is the first new moon in about 3 years that we will have. It's coming up on Tuesday. So it's the first new moon that we'll have in Capricorn in 3 years that doesn't have Saturn attached to it. And in that sense, it is very ripe terrain for us to start kind of rebuilding after what Saturn really just tore down. So that's a nice feeling. On the other hand, The aspects at this new moon are more of what we've started feeling this week. So the aspects that are taking place at the new moon are certainly going to reveal more to us about the nature of the struggles that we're going to be facing this year. 2021 is going to be explosive, if that's a word I can use. And so Saturn has moved already, like, in the 5th house. Yeah, that's like my self-expression. That's like how I can love. Goodbye, Saturn. Whew. But now it's in your 6th house, ready to work how you work, right? Saturn's never done. So Saturn has already started moving into its main configuration for the year, which is in this set of 3 squares with Uranus, which we'll start experiencing right after Valentine's Day next month. So very exciting stuff to look forward to. So this is definitely an opportunity for us to really get clear on what we need to do this year, what it is that we're able to commit to this year. So let's revisit the themes of Capricorn now that Saturn is gone, because Capricorn for us has been totally reworked, totally revised, and now we kind of need to revisit that and understand what it means for us moving forward. So this can be, like, if you're using the worksheet, this is where you can start filling in your word bank. If you're taking notes on a regular piece of paper or just in your mind, go ahead and just kind of take note of whatever highlights stick out to you, whatever feels relevant to what you're currently experiencing. Feel free to take whatever means something to you and leave the rest. It's totally fine. This is for you. So, themes of Capricorn. We've got purpose, ambition, responsibility. These are all stripped of what capitalism has done to them, but those things are still very important to us. Structure, discipline, order, especially like creating order out of chaos, right? Creating some sort of structure for ourselves. How we manage the material realm. Systems and traditions, and that may be sort of jumping off of structure and discipline, what we create from that place. Stability and security. Dedication, reputation, and soft power. Soft power is one that I've really been thinking about. We've seen so much about hard power, about awful power, about destructive power, but power in and of itself is not the enemy, and soft power is very, very beautiful power. So what does that mean to us? So Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto really helped us redefine many or all of these things for ourselves. And again, this new moon is an opportunity for us to get clear on what those definitions are for us personally and collectively. Especially since this new moon is conjunct Pluto, who's going to be hanging out in Capricorn until 2023. As America goes through its really disgusting Pluto return. So this moon is really kind of reminding us that that work is not done. We've cracked open what needs to be done and started, but Pluto is really still going to be showing us how deeply these old definitions are buried within our foundations and kind of what transformative work we need to do in order to override those. So we're not done with Capricorn just yet, but we are in a place where we can start doing something. Saturn's gone again, so we can finally get to work, right? So another question that I have for you is, how has my relationship to time and the material evolved? Go ahead and take a moment to write that down if you want, or to start answering that if you would like. Other aspects. All right, so we mentioned before the other aspects at the lunation. These other aspects indicate that this is a time where we're asked to evaluate how it is that we respond to crisis and to chaos, and where it is that we need to adapt. So again, we've already been feeling this building up. This started at the end of last year. Mars was squaring Saturn and Pluto from Aries while Saturn was in Capricorn. We are not done. There is still the final square. It's just shifted signs and elements. We're now in a fixed square, so that's extra just juicy, right? So where we've been feeling this buildup is showing us one, that we're only just getting started, but two, is showing us what it is that we need to focus on for the year in order to really stay rooted through all the changes that are coming our way. This is a time to really look at ourselves, to get radically transparent about where we are currently, wherever that is. It's not about judging that place. It's simply meeting yourself there in real time. And from that place, making decisions about how we can best support ourselves as we enter deep systemic overhaul. We're going to do this. We got this. We got this. So, Mars, who newly just entered Taurus the other day, is approaching Uranus, where they'll conjoin in Taurus, and they are joining forces to enter into this square with Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, who just moved into Aquarius. So again, we're only at the very, very beginning of this tension. Change is imminent, as is the desperation to keep things exactly the way they are. We're really in it. We're in it now. So, we know that remaining tolerant of the way things have been will only lead to more suffering and oppression, but we also have to recognize that to walk the path of integrity and justice, we must be willing to look at ourselves objectively and get clear on what we can no longer travel with to get to where we need to go. So, to do that takes a good deal of commitment, one of those Capricorn words again, and willingness to take responsibility for ourselves, our words, and our conduct. So this is go time. There is no more time to be evading ourselves, to be masking ourselves. This is really the moment to get super honest with ourselves and to really decide what we need to do next. Mean Lilith is part of this configuration. She's also hanging out in Taurus and will be part of these squares as well. So Lilith is asking us to look, or I actually wrote demands, so I'm going to stick with that. Lilith is demanding that we look at any shame we carry around our personal values and resources, around beauty and pleasure, around our connection to nature, our dedication to tradition, what we think we deserve. Oh. Oh, good. I'm glad this is relevant. It's really real, you guys. So what we think we deserve, what our attachment style is, and how deeply it runs. Just what that is. And again, just meeting that where that is. Not being judgmental, just saying, what is my attachment style? What is this? I need to understand it. So basically, we need to be able to look at where shame prevents us from stepping into our personal power, and where that surrendering of agency gets used against us and weaponized by the systems we are connected to. Because everything that we are surrendering around our agency is only going to the enemy. So we can't leak agency anymore. Lilith says no. Next month's new moon in Aquarius is going to bring all of the other personal planets into this configuration. So we'll have the sun, the moon, and Venus will have moved into Aquarius as well. Mercury will still be there because Mercury's stationing retrograde at the end of the month, y'all. So next month is really going to be when we start feeling the amplification of this energy. It's important right now to get started on figuring out how we're going to move through this. Again, getting really intimate with ourselves and saying, what do I need for realsies? No shame. So, because we're either walking into this willingly or we're getting dragged into it. If we're not paying attention, if we're not showing up, we're getting sucked into it either way. So this is when we need to figure out how we're going to actively engage with this rather than be destroyed by it. Yay. Okay, so that's the astrology for what we're going through in this new moon. If anyone feels like chiming in or sharing, we're going to start filling out our worksheet, and feel free to share things that you will be putting in here if you like. So everything we just talked about, all these keywords, we can go through them again too. If y'all want me to read the list of sort of Capricorn traits again, I can do that, just to sort of anything that didn't stick out before, maybe sticking out now, let me know. Okay. So we're going to take a look at those keywords that stood out to us and consider our current relationship to them as we approach the worksheet. So, sort of through the lens of what in here do I have a difficult or uncertain relationship to that I would like to sort of radically change this. Yay, I know, yes. I'm so glad that you appreciate the worksheet. I didn't know until I made it, and then I was like, oh my god. You're precious. Activating my Virgo here. Alright, so which of these do I need to begin like radically changing my relationship to? It's okay. Again, no judgment. We're working through shame around these things. So just let it out. This is what we're going to start using to fill out the change box. So go ahead and take a moment to start writing that out for yourself. And it can be full. Yeah, keywords. Absolutely. So purpose, ambition, responsibility, structure, discipline, and order, managing the material realm, systems and traditions, stability and security, dedication, reputation, and soft power. And I'll repeat the question that I asked earlier too. How has my relationship to time and the material evolved? Cool. All right, let me know if we need to go over anything else. So thinking about those keywords, thinking about anything that is triggered by any of those things for you. Thinking about anything that's been triggered by what we've been feeling. Thinking about anything that's impacting you in this moment that is prohibiting or inhibiting you from... Inhibiting you? I don't think that's how that works. Keeping you from stepping into your power. Mine's gotten very stretchy. Stretchy. I like that. All right. Last month we talked about stories that were within us, that we were carrying, that were worn out and holding us back. And now it's time to look over everything else that's tangible that's holding us back. Security is a big one over here. Sun, Venus, and South Node in Cancer. Ooh, yes, absolutely. That is a really good one. Definitely thinking about security then. I like the North Node in Capricorn then too. You're like, this is my time. So if last month we looked at our stories that were holding us back, now we're looking at our behaviors, how those narratives have impacted how we move through the tangible realm, how we participate in the systems that we are locked in, right? So consider what your relationship to responsibility has been. Just what does that mean to you as you continue writing out your change box? And once more, the change box is, well, I mean, I guess it's pretty evident, but the change box is what we are hoping to surrender, right? What we're hoping to move through, what we're hoping to let go of or to change, to transform into something more positive. I like the transformative element of it, especially since the moon is going to be on Pluto. It's very much like, let's just throw it into the fire and like start over. Okay, so where is it time to invite in new shifts in those relationships? And that'll be the end of the change box. And so now we'll spend a moment deciding today's peaceful place. If you've been here with me before, you have probably developed a peaceful place, and you can feel free to keep using that space, or you can feel free to change it up. It's a new year. Where do you want to go? If you're joining me for the first time, then the peaceful place is a space in nature somewhere where you are able to just like really connect to the environment, to nature, stepping outside of this materialistic realm and stepping into a realm of nature and heavenliness and relaxation. So a space in nature, you could have been there before, you may have never been there, maybe it's somewhere you always wanted to go, maybe it's someplace really nostalgic for you. Just take a moment and write out not only where this place is, but spend a minute describing that environment. Describe for yourself like what time of day it is that you enjoy most in this space, what the ground feels like. What is the air like? Are there any textures that stand out to you? Any sounds, any animals? Everything that comes to you now, go ahead and write that down for yourself, because that's where we're going to be starting off our work today. So the most important thing is that it should be someplace in nature. We don't want to be, we already spend so much time in walls, so someplace without walls. That's my only request. Okay. Give you another moment for that. All right. And now we're going to spend a moment considering our payoff. What, on a personal level, start here. Where do you stand to live in deeper integrity with yourself? Where do you stand to really own something that you know to be inherent to you, that perhaps is a gift you don't make space for because you don't think there's room for it in this world? That feels very Lilith too. Like, what shame about what you know to be true for yourself is ready to be expressed in the tangible realm? On the collective level, where can you better respond to the necessary changes that we need to move through collectively? So thinking about this payoff, if we let go of being able to step into our true integrity, how does that allow us to show up for others, for this world that needs us? Like, the world needs us right now. So how could we show up more truthfully in those spaces? Feel free to think too about the next few weeks as well as the next few months. You can think about how these changes can impact you and your growth over time, right? So starting this process now, leading to both short-term and long-term changes, goals, evolutions. Some bonus voting for you. All right, give you another minute or so to think about that. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to think as big as you want in this. I mean, this is within our own minds, right? So if the point is to really open ourselves up radically, then feel free to think big. In fact, I encourage you to think big. We have to be able to think big in order to live big. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I liked it. All right, so we're finishing up. I'm glad you enjoyed the Vogue. Okay, so we'll spend a few more moments, seconds, blips of time just finishing up the sheet. Feel free to add anything else that you feel is important to this work. Take a moment to get comfortable. Go ahead and dim the lights if you want. Get yourself some more water. I will turn up the bells. Are the bells good? Everyone hearing the bells? Is that nice? Let me know. If you're not already like reclined or in a place that you can really sink into, go ahead and put yourself in a position where you can really relax. But don't not to fall asleep. Although if you fall asleep, that's okay. Maybe you need that. Just trust your body. Trust your body. That's also very Lilith and Taurus. Trust your body. It's like your number one resource is you. This guy right here. All right. Inviting you all to get prepared, and we'll start our trance in just a moment. Thank you for being here. I think I said that already, but I'm just going to keep thanking you. This is also my favorite ritual too, so I'm really glad that we get to hang out. So thanks for being here with me, because I love this. I get really nervous beforehand, and then as soon as we start, I get really into it. So I'm growing too. We're growing together. It's beautiful. That's how we do it. All right. Everyone good? Everyone ready? Okay, we're gonna do it. All right, so when you're ready, we're just gonna start with some nice breathing together. Just a few rounds of some nice deep breaths, breathing in slowly, sending that breath throughout your body. If you are Reiki inclined. I felt called to bring attention to that today, to think about perhaps sending our breaths to our chakras, starting with the root chakra and making our way up, and just sort of activating this space for ourselves. If not, feel free to send your breath to your toes, to your fingertips. Feel your breath moving down your legs. Just really allowing ourselves to connect to ourselves in this moment to get started, however that makes sense to you. And as we're taking these nice deep breaths, just releasing those breaths more slowly than you took them in, so maybe twice as long, just really savoring this air right now, really savoring this connection. And your eyes can be closed, your eyes can be open. We'll close our eyes eventually, but there's no wrong way to send breath into your body. And when you've connected with your breath, whether it's through your chakras or through your limbs, we can go ahead and connect our breath to the crown of our heads and just sort of activate this space for ourselves today. And when you're ready, go ahead and spend a moment finding a focal point that feels right to you. It can be your hand, sort of the classic hypnosis, looking at the back of my hand. If you're sitting, it can be something on the wall opposite you. It can be a piece of artwork on the wall or a plant that's on a shelf across from you. Anything that is easy for you to look at and that can kind of help bring you into a nice, calm headspace. So go ahead and find your focal point for today. And once you've found that focal point, just allow your eyes to rest on that point. And as your eyes begin focusing on that object, just let everything else in the periphery begin fading into the background. Just allow your focus to intensify on this point and continue that conscious connection to your breath. And as your focus deepens, just feel your consciousness begin to shift inward. And as that consciousness shifts inward, maybe you can feel your conscious and your unconscious mind start to merge as they begin to work together. And if at any point you feel your mind begin to wander, just gently bring it back by focusing on your breath again. As your focus continues to deepen and pull you inward, trust that your mind and your body know exactly how to work together at this time. Just invite yourself to relax and to release. Continuing to take nice, deep breaths. Just allowing that focus to deepen. And when you feel ready, and you feel relaxed, go ahead and just allow your eyes to gently close. Now just take a moment to identify where in your body you experience confidence. Okay. And when you've found that place, just invite yourself to feel that sensation for a moment. Where in your body you feel confidence. Now from that place of confidence, begin to identify any tension that may be present in your body. When you've found any sources of tension, just imagine that with each breath out, that tension is able to flow out of you. Perhaps you can feel this tension draining out of you, moving from the crown of your head, moving down through the body, and eventually leaving you through the soles of your feet. Maybe this tension has a color or is made of several colors. Maybe it has a texture. Maybe you're able to see it leaving you now as you continue these nice, deep cleansing breaths. And in a moment, I will count us down from 5 to 1, and you'll be able to travel even more deeply within, trusting that your mind and your body know exactly how to work together at this time. 5, releasing any tension in your eyes and in your jaw. 4, releasing any tension in your neck and your shoulders. 3, allowing your arms to grow heavy at your sides now. 2, just breathing, relaxing and releasing now. And 1, letting go and traveling even deeper now. Begin to arrive at your peaceful place, which you described for yourself in our worksheet. Spend the next few moments fully immersing yourself in this sacred space. Take note of the time of day. What does the ground feel like? What does the air feel like? Are there animals present? What sounds do you hear? Just allow yourself to just be here fully for this moment. And when you're ready, find a place to take a seat, however that makes sense in your mind. And just allow this place to refresh you and rejuvenate you. Just connect to this space. In a moment, I will count down from 3 to 1, and you will feel yourself rising up. 3, beginning to rise up now. 2, rising even higher. And 1, fully elevated above yourself now. Take a look down at yourself in this present moment, in the peaceful place. See yourself and consider what this self may need at this time. It can be courage or encouragement. It can be love, support, appreciation, strength, determination. Whatever you see yourself needing in this moment, spend this time sending it down to yourself. And then go ahead and send yourself a little bit more. Take a moment to just feel yourself receiving this and experiencing how that feels. Now, in your mind, turn your head to the right and become aware of the timeline of light and energy that connects you to both the past and the future. Feel yourself begin to integrate into this divine light. And when you're ready, allow yourself to begin moving along the timeline into the future. As you travel along this timeline of light and energy, consider your payoff box. Arrive at yourself 6 months from now, having transformed and fully embodying your fullest integrity and authenticity. Spend a moment seeing yourself doing well and feeling connected. What does your present self admire about your future self? If you're able and you feel comfortable, go ahead and verbalize that out loud to yourself. In a moment, I will count down and you will visit this future self. 3, floating downward. 2, approaching your future self. And 1, fully stepping into this future self now. Spend a moment here fully embodying this future self, feeling good, doing well, feeling supported. And now take a moment to see your present self through the eyes of your future self. What does your future self appreciate about your present self? And again, if you're able and you feel comfortable, verbalize this aloud to yourself and allow yourself to receive this appreciation. Feel your present and future selves working together. In a moment, I will count again and you will rise back up to the timeline. 3, present and future self working together and rising up. 2, rising up even higher. And 1, arriving back at the timeline of light and energy. Take one more look down at yourself and consider 3 things you are proud of yourself for. Feel yourself integrate back into that divine light. Now allow yourself to intuitively travel along the timeline, traveling now into the past. Consider your change box at this time and travel intuitively to a time when you felt unable to take responsibility for something that turned out to be important to you or impactful. Thinking about the change box now, thinking about those relationships that are ready to be changed. Traveling intuitively to a time when you felt unable to take responsibility for something that turned out to be important to you or impactful. Arrive at yourself in that moment and just take a moment to observe yourself. Consider what resources that past self may have needed. And now spend a moment sending your past self those resources now. Feel this past self receiving those resources. And if you need, send a little bit more. Just allow yourself to experience how that feels. Now I will count down, and you can visit this past self. 3, floating downward. 2, approaching this past self. And 1, fully stepping into this moment in the past. And now take a moment to to see your present self through the eyes of your past self, to consider what your past self appreciates about your present self now. And if you are able and you feel comfortable, go ahead and verbalize that out loud for yourself and just feel yourself receiving that appreciation now. Now consider what this gives you and how this makes you feel. What does this appreciation give you now? And what feelings are you able to connect to in this moment? Feel yourself now integrating this experience as we begin to rise back up to the timeline, this divine light of light and energy. 3, past, present, and future self collaborating as you rise. 2, rising even higher now. And 1, returning and integrating back into this divine light. Allow yourself to move once more along the timeline back to the present moment with these new resources. Are you ready to integrate this updated set of resources? When you've arrived back at yourself, take a look down at yourself in the peaceful place. And just spend a moment observing yourself. I will count down now, and you will reintegrate into yourself in the present moment, in the peaceful place. 3, lowering down to yourself in this present moment, in the peaceful place. 2, feeling these new resources integrate. And 1, stepping back into yourself in this present moment, in the peaceful place. And when you've fully arrived back at your peaceful place, just spend a final moment here for today's practice, remembering that this place, this peace, and this process of release are available to you at all times. Breathe in your surroundings and continue feeling these resources integrate, remembering that new cells are being generated every day to facilitate healing. And now, I will count us out of the peaceful place and out of today's trance, back into our bodies in the present moment, and ready for the day ahead of us. 3, saying goodbye to the peaceful place for now. 2, traveling now back to the present moment. And 1, fully returned to our present selves in this present moment. And just take a moment to process this traveling that we've just done and the work that we've just started. Take a moment to send your breath back into the those chakras or into those limbs, feeling that breath connect once more to your toes, to your fingertips, the crown of your head. And when you feel ready, you can allow your eyes to gently flutter open. Okay. As always, I invite anyone to share anything, either here in this space or with me privately. If you have any questions, please feel free to connect with me about those. If you would like to try hypnosis one-on-one, please feel free to connect with me about that. If you feel called to donate today, my Venmo is pinned to the top of this chat, and anything is appreciated. Yay, I'm so excited. That makes my heart full. Thank y'all for being here, for showing up, for doing this, for trusting me, and for trusting yourself, and for embarking on this constant journey of evolution. Thank y'all. This is so meaningful to me that y'all are here. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you being here. Yay, resolve past, present, future. I like that. That's beautiful. Yes, absolutely. If you joined us late, please feel free. I'm going to, of course, post this once it's over. Please feel free to do it at your own time. It will be available. I will be here for any questions, and we will do this again next month for the Aquarius new moon. And I'm excited to have already started building this foundation, because I feel like once we get into that new moon moving forward, we're gonna need this space. So I'm really excited that y'all share this space with me. Thank you so much. I think you're all great, and I deeply, deeply appreciate you. And feel free to check in throughout the month. Let's keep an open dialogue about how these shifts are occurring, and if you need any support, I am here. So happy Saturday, happy Saturn's Day, happy all of these new shifts: Mercury in Aquarius, Venus in Capricorn, Mars in Taurus. Woo, it's happening, y'all. We're moving. Things are moving. And thank y'all for showing up and being here. See you Monday for Astro Squad, if y'all tune into that, and otherwise see you next month for the Aquarius new moon. I love you. I love you all. You have a beautiful day.